It's like you see his ass in that fire. You stick with that Christianity bullshit that was all a part of that plot, and your ass is going to be left where everything that becomes a fire to be purified from all this filth. I'm warning you, all you religious sector people that's worshiping this white man as your God, your ass going to be burned up with his ass. I'm warning you.
White people with damn mad white people with fire. That's what it's all about. For God! For God!
Listen, I'm not being hateful. I'm warning you how these people have messed your brain up. This ain't got nothing to do with Jesus or God and no hatred of them. What this is right now is showing you how all these white people came along, created an image of themselves as God, and used this method of torture and brain manipulation to make all you black people worship their image as your God. You need to get out of that shit. This is the horrible torture that they used on us for hundreds of years to make us worship them as our God. You should be wise enough to figure that out and get out of that bullshit so we can move forward as a people and pick ourselves up and rebuild our nation and get on down the road without any help from them. We'd be foolish to want them to help us do any damn thing. We don't need their help. We can help ourselves. Just get the hell away from them and be ready to kill their asses like they're killing us. That's the only thing it takes, is to stand up for yourself. Our God will supply us with everything we need. It's just that we too busy begging them and their God for our shit. And that's why we're not getting it. They've stolen everything from us. And now we sitting up begging them and worshiping them to try to get something back. And they plan on keeping us their slaves forever.
The white race! For the white race! For our children! For our children! For the American Knights and the Ku Klux Klan! The Klan.
How do you think they was able to pull this off all night long without no harassment from the police? Oh, let me tell you why. Because they are the police.
Crosses are ignited to the sound of one of the holiest of Christian hymns.
You see, that's why they murdered their own children in that school that day, because they know themselves what they're raising. Now, it was not some black man that went in there and murdered those kids. It was one of these guys. Because the UFO knew which one of them was the weakest one to send in there to kill those kids, and they sent him a signal. And they went in his pineal gland with sunlight, and then it went into his heart. And then his heart instructed his brain to go do that. And then you're going to see that shit happening a lot.
The cross is the most distinct symbol in the world. Everybody knows what a cross is. Okay, we light it. So when it's lit, the light upon Jesus Christ shines down upon the Klan and blesses them.
That these crosses burning me.
See, that's sad. That's why I don't want to have a damn thing to do with Jesus, because Jesus came from the minds of fucked up white people like these people, and it got forced on everyone else.
Your souls, as they have so many other people. That's why we're here, folks. Fire tonight.
Okay. So much for that. They're real nice people, huh? I'm glad to see that we've got some real good Christians on earth like that to lead our ass to God. Thank you, Ku Klux Klan. I feel real good to know that we have such good help on the earth. Peace and blessings.
Born in Omaha, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And your family left Omaha when you were about 1 year old?
I imagine about a year old.
And why did they leave Omaha?
Well, to my understanding, the Ku Klux Klan burned down one of their homes in Omaha.
This
a lot of Ku Klux
made your family feel very unhappy, I'm sure.
Well, insecure, if not unhappy.
So you must have a somewhat prejudiced point of view, a personally prejudiced point of view. In other words, you cannot look at this in a broad academic sort of way, really.
I think that's incorrect, because despite the fact that that happened in Omaha, and then when we moved to Lansing, Michigan, our home was burned down again. In fact, my father was killed by the Ku Klux Klan. And despite all of that, no one was more thoroughly integrated with whites than I. No one has lived more so in the society of whites than I. And it was only until I became a Muslim that I ceased living in the society.
You say you were thoroughly integrated with the whites. Now, do you have white people in your family background?
Definitely. Most Negroes in this country have whites in their family background. Because
How are you going to differentiate between the white blood that's in you and the Negro blood that's in you? And you don't mind my using the term Negro because you use this yourself.
I use it interchangeably.
I know you do. Why do you do that?
Well, I use it if it fits the purpose to use it, but I use it against my will.
But
I use it against my...
You used it voluntarily in describing an incident in Los Angeles.
Still, I use it against my will.
I guess the teachings weren't thoroughly inculcated.
No, but when I say to you that the cops in Los Angeles shot down 7 unarmed Negroes, every Negro in the audience knows what I'm talking about. But when I say that they shot 7 Muslims, then a lot of the Negroes don't realize.
I suppose you said 7 colored people because you say you used the term colored people. You said.
I don't think I used the word colored on this program.
Yes, you did. You did when we
Not colored.
I think so. Black people. I'm sorry. You
Black.
did say black.
Well, we can use black, and that fits everything.
Okay.
But certainly black.
Now let me get back to another point that you made. You said that you go back home. Now, what do you mean by back home?
I've only heard the Honorable Elijah Muhammad say, back among our own people. From
You said back home. You don't mind my saying.
Right, back home. But by that he means...
You mean back into the roots of Islam?
You shut your ass up and tell you.
Back home. And by back home he means back into our original civilization. And if you study history, the Islamic culture existed in West Africa,
But your
Central
family
Africa.
didn't come from an Islamic background originally, did it? I mean, you came from the proud tribes of Africa, which is
I think you'll find, sir, that the Islamic culture
I agree, there is.
existed widely in Africa,
He
Central
knows that.
Africa, West
I
Africa.
agree. I've met many
He knows
people.
that. He's just trying to be a smart ass.
With regard to that tragedy out there in Los Angeles, I myself refer to it when it happened as the tragic police action, so I am not totally biased.
Thank you, sir.
Coming from Muhammad...
So you can know, okay, Islam is older than Christianity. It was the immediate takeoff from the studies of the ancient Kemetic philosophical teachings to self-enlightenment that I study. That's the reason why I say the Nation of Islam here in America is the closest thing to my philosophical teachings of self-awareness than anything else on the earth. All right, even if they have changes and different things that is made a part of Islam with its modernized mergings with Christianity, I can see the difference and I know what to wean out. But still with that involved, that's what I mean by it could be some changes. If anybody that was studying ancient Kemetic teachings had to join a religion on earth, I bet you everyone would agree with me, it would either be something with the Moorish Science Temple or something around the Nation of Islam. That's the only way you can be compatible. You can't be compatible with Christianity and be under the same type of doctrination that I'm under. It won't work. Christianity is the worship of white people as your God. That's all it boils down to. Now Malcolm X is sitting here trying to tell this man, listen, don't try to attack me for talking about Islam, because you know for a fact the Islam I'm talking about is totally different than the Islam with those white Arabs that was able to study Islam with black people. And then just like Christianity, they took what they wanted from it, fabricated it to fit their characteristics, and then tarnished it and used the name of Allah to enslave black people. The black people that taught them about Allah never taught them anything about enslaving people or making a woman be beneath them. That is all male, chauvinist, patriarchal demonstrations and characteristics. And whenever you find a religion that has that type of behavior in it, it's good for you to run your ass away from it fast as you can.
Speaks, which is the publication of your cult or your religion. Elijah Muhammad referred to the policemen out there, the white policemen, as devils. He said, there is no justice here for us black people. There is no future for us nor our children in civilized America. Doesn't that imply that you're going to get out, or that's his wish that you get out?
If he referred to those policemen out there as devils, who were heavily armed and knew that the Negroes whom they were shooting down in cold blood were not heavily armed, I don't think that those policemen themselves would deny that they're devils. Nor would any Negro who witnessed such a deed deny that they are devils.
Well, about the other part of it, there's no justice here for us black people. There is no future for us nor our children in civilized America. And I didn't make that up. He said it in his own...
And he's correct in what he says, sir.
Oh, what does it mean?
You know what I mean? What he's saying is that you guys are a bunch of fascist bigots who have set up a system where you all can excel and do well and have nice homes and good jobs and all that stuff. Just right down the street and look, everybody working is whites and Mexicans. Okay, this is the type of shit that you guys have been doing forever because you know you're inferior to the black man, so you do everything you can to keep us down. That's what he's saying. We can still see that today. There's still police brutality, they're still heavily armed, and they're still out profiling black men. What's the problem? They just lied and said I stole a bike and put me through 7 months of trying to lock me up, put me through a bunch of bullshit, was gonna have a jury trial and all that dumbass shit with taxpayer money. You, by giving them all the damn money, you get them the power to be the fascist bigots that they are. And they utilize nothing but abuse of power strategies to keep the jails full and the pockets full.
I mean, you're gonna get out?
It means the same thing that Attorney General Robert Kennedy means when he says that the #1 domestic problem in America is the race problem. That it is almost impossible to solve it. It's almost impossible to give justice to Negroes.
Real simple. Now this is back in the 60s. You're not going to sit your ass around here and try to act like everybody on earth is imagining this shit when we can still see the same everyday bullshit going on every damn where. And we all know that. Alright, so I mean, come on, keep it real. We gotta keep it real. I'm sorry. I like Malcolm X. Malcolm X is very wise. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And so, you know, I guess I got what? Got about 8 minutes left. I'm around with this Erykah Badu. You know what I'm saying? Because she's beautiful. I love her. And I don't mind listening to her lyrics or her songs. So here we go.
Still don't know. So many times I changed my mind. Guess I was born to make mistakes, but I ain't scared to take the weight. So when I stumble off the path, I know my heart will guide me back. I'm trying to decide which way to go. Think I made a wrong turn back there somewhere. Oh, ooh, hey, ooh. I'm trying to decide which way to go. Think I made a wrong turn back there somewhere. Hey, didn't you know? Didn't you know? Said I tried to run, but then lost my way. Didn't you know? Didn't you know? Then I stopped, then I stopped, then I stopped, then I stopped, then I. Didn't you know? Didn't you know? But I would not pay. Didn't you know? Didn't you know? They say you never know how the cards may lay. Come on.